My name is Bryant Wright, and I'm the current president of the Duke Black Law Students Association. I see a room full of bright faces. As a former classroom teacher, I can't help but also see a room full of potential. By being here, you have already begun to demonstrate the drive that is necessary to success in applying to and graduating from law school. It is important that you try to take advantage of as many opportunities as are presented to you during your time here and beyond. That means that sometimes you will be required to close your eyes, trust your gut, and take a leap. I never thought that I would end up in law school. I am a musician and had only ever imagined my future self as such. In fact, going to law school was the punchline whenever my college friends and I would imagine the most ironic outcomes for our lives. I say this because back then, in college, I was absolutely certain of my path, and it was not towards becoming a lawyer. I spent 28 hours per week in a small, dark practice room, honing my musical craft. I sacrificed study time to practice. And then, suddenly, after 5 years, at the peak of my frenzy to become the best musician that I could be, I decided that such an isolated career wasn't for me. But, as perhaps some of you have even experienced, discovering that I didn't want to do something was not sufficient to illuminate what I actually did want to do. So, in the meantime, I moved to Brooklyn, New York, and began teaching middle school. I spent 3 years learning lessons about the world and, more importantly, about myself. I discovered that my passion for music was core to who I am and how I defined myself, regardless of what I was actually doing. I learned that you have to teach others how to treat you in subtle but firm ways. All of this led me to decide that somehow law school felt like the perfect fit for me. Law school presented the opportunity to make a difference while engaging with my passion and employing my best skills. I feared many things in the process. After all, this would be a dramatic shift from what I had previously done, and there was no guarantee that law school was actually what I wanted. I feared that LSAT would somehow prove that I was unworthy. I feared that law school simply wouldn't pay attention. I was a pretty less than stellar student in college. However, I was excited to hurl myself into a new journey, despite not knowing what the results might look like or feel like. I organized my applications and prepared for the LSAT. Now, a year and some change into law school, I can confidently say that I made the right decision. Next summer, I will have the opportunity to do legal work in the field of music copyright litigation. My deviation from music to law and back was seemingly at first a betrayal. But law school and my journey to it has taught me that adaptability and openness are the true keys to success. So I encourage you to take that leap into the new. Do not be afraid to challenge yourself and to aim for lofty goals. Do not be afraid to adapt, for there is nothing stopping you but the limitations you set in your own mind. I'm proud to introduce Jalene Mack, an entertainment attorney who focuses on her long-term goal of making an impact in the entertainment industry. Ms. Mack earned her Bachelor of Arts with a major in political science and a minor in mass communications from Xavier University. She then went on to earn her Juris Doctorate from Thurgood Marshall School of Law at Texas Southern University. In order to bridge her passion for entertainment with her career path, she opened up her own practice in 1998, the law office of Jalene M. Mack. She has represented entertainment powerhouses such as Steve Harvey, LaToya Luckett, Kim Burrell, and Thomas Milizzi, AKA Nephew Tommy. If you miss Jalene in the courtroom, however, you may catch her on a stage, TV, or in a movie. In addition to her legal work, Ms. Mack has worked as an actress, playwright, and producer. Some of her most notable projects to date include roles in Nexus Entertainment's Fifth Ward TV series and AMC's Better Call Saul. On top of that, Ms. Mack has managed to also pen a book, The Business of Stage, Screen, and In Between, entertainment attorney Jalene Mack's practical advice for performers, playwrights, and filmmakers. Please help me in welcoming attorney Jalene Mack.
I've heard so many positive things here today. The messaging is so uniformed, and I'm hoping to stay consistent in that path and that you take something from me along that same vein. I'm just absorbing everyone speaking here today, and I got some stuff to take home myself that actually will continue me along the path that I'm taking here. You can hear me clear? Nice and clear? Okay. Well, I want to welcome you again to the 4th Annual National HBCU Pre-Law Conference and Law Expo. This weekend is not only about careers in law, but it's also about supporting HBCUs and our pursuits in promoting and preserving our roots in the process. I stand before you today as a keynote speaker because I am the proud product of not only one, but 2 HBCUs. I went to Xavier University for undergrad, and I went to Texas Southern University, Thurgood Marshall School of Law. So hats off to the HBCU. I want to certainly say a few thank yous first before I get it started. I want to thank Attorney Evangeline Mitchell for selecting me to speak here today. I've spoken on several of the pre-law conferences. I've spoken on 2 panels, and I moderated one, and this is my very first time being a keynote speaker for the conference. So, you know, I'm glad she saw something in me to speak to you today. Hoping not to disappoint. This is truly an opportunity that's opened up to me so that I can give you this positive message, and you are the next generation of our future legal eagles. I want to also thank our distinguished guests and all other generals and attendees this morning. And lastly, I got to give a nice shout out to my sorors of Delta Sigma Theta, Sorority Incorporated. We got any here? Particularly the Omicron Delta chapter here on Bennett's College. Any Deltas from the college campus here? Okay. And then we have Alpha Mu's chapter from North Carolina A&T. So I want to give a special shout out to my sorors. There is an age-old question that we've heard at some point in our childhood or our young adult lives. And that question is, what do you want to be when you grow up? By your presence here today, I assume your career, your answer to that is that I want to be a lawyer when I grow up. Well, I didn't know that I wanted to be a lawyer until I was a junior at Xavier University. And I was studying political science, I was minoring in mass communications, and I was thinking that I was going to be a political reporter or a White House correspondent or a political analyst like Donna Brazile. I got a degree in law, and I thought, you know, if I got a degree in law, that would certainly complement what I wanted to do. No, that's not what happened exactly. I grew up in New Orleans where my sense of involvement and participation was established and nurtured through collective community celebration of culture and arts. I was immersed in dance and theater from childhood, so I developed a deep-rooted passion for the arts. In other words, I wanted to be an artist at heart. I really wanted to be an actress, a thespian, okay? But going to college was expected, and my parents thought I should do that, and it was the right thing to do, go to college. Well, as all rising college seniors do, I got to the fork in the road. What do I do? Do I go left? Do I go right? What should my career path be? I was not sure about the political career, but I was sure about an acting career. But I was no fool. I knew I could not be a starving artist. So I decided to go to law school, and by practicing law, that would be my waitressing job. So while pursuing my acting career. Plus, I would gain a superior understanding of drafting and negotiating contracts, and I would avoid the pitfalls of being taken advantage of, like many other artists at the time, TLC, New Edition, Toni Braxton. That decision, that motivation, was the very onset of my career as an entertainment lawyer. And I want each of you, young, aspiring attorneys, to assess your own motivation, because it may be what sustains you through your whole law school experience and your career in law. Now, let's cover some basics. What is a lawyer? According to Wikipedia, a lawyer is a person who practices law as an advocate, a barrister, attorney, counselor, or solicitor, or chartered legal executive. Working as a lawyer involves the practical application of abstract legal theories and knowledge to solve specific individualized problems, or to advance the interests of those who hire lawyers to perform legal services. Now, that definition tells us what a lawyer is, but it doesn't tell us how good you have to be a lawyer. According to the Bar Association 2017 statistics, there are approximately 1.3 million lawyers in the United States, total. Of that number, only 53,300 are African American. That's only like 4.1%. Looking at those two sets of numbers, yeah, it tells us how many lawyers, but it doesn't tell us how good they are, right? Let's consider what makes a good lawyer. This is a very subjective, debatable thing, I know, but I want to share, based on my research, 5 traits to look for in making you a good lawyer. Negotiation skills, number 1. Good lawyer negotiations skills are secrets to leave all parties feeling like a reasonable, fair outcome was achieved. They manage expectations on both sides, use leverage to help guide a dispute towards resolution. They play chess, not checkers. Paperwork skills, number 2. Good lawyers draft timely correspondence, motions, and briefs that are well-cited and well-written. Number 3, presentation skills. Good lawyers are confident. They present well when they are being spontaneous, and they present at the highest level when they have time to prepare for their presentation. Number 4, pertinent experience. Good lawyers have handled the same or similar problems many, many times before. And number 5, reasonable accessibility. Good lawyers make themselves reasonably available to their clients. Good lawyers are busy, but they get things done. Now, you know, or you have some idea of what a good lawyer can be. And being here today is preparing you for a career in law that's placed you on the path of being a good lawyer. But is that all you want to be? A good lawyer? Being good is somewhere above average and a little below great. Somewhere above mediocre, but not quite exceptional. No. What we here want you to strive for is something greater than that. We want you to be phenomenal lawyers. Lawyers who are unprecedented, outstanding, and surpassing. Now, I know you're asking yourselves, how do I get to be phenomenal? Who has time for that? You are probably thinking, I'm still trying to figure out life in general. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my undergraduate degree. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm going to pass this class. Still trying to figure out if I will graduate on time. Still trying to study for the LSAT. Still trying to get in law school. And now I have the added pressure to become phenomenal? Relax. You have what many of us didn't have when we were pre-law students, and that is someone to steer you in the right direction, which is the very point of this conference that you're attending this weekend. Okay? Now, how did I get on the track of becoming a good lawyer, going from a good lawyer to becoming a phenomenal lawyer? Hashtag, I'm a work still in progress, first of all, okay? As I mentioned, I have been very involved in the entertainment industry and performing arts in general since I was a kid. I entered the entertainment industry professionally as an actress in 1990. I say professionally because it is the first time I got paid for an acting job. I was paid $150 to act in a DJ Quick video, the music video, Just Like Compton. Anybody remember DJ Quick? Just like Compton, New York, York, just like, I can't sing, but that's not my talent. I didn't list that as my talent anyway. In fact, I was an actress before I was a lawyer. Wearing many hats later today, I'm a businesswoman, an author, founder of a performing and visual arts nonprofit, an entertainment lawyer, playwright, TV, film, and theater producer, and a working actress. It is important for me to mention all my hats because you too should strive for all your dreams and goals. If you want to be more than just a lawyer, that's okay. But do know, somewhere along the way, someone, somewhere, somehow, will tell you you're doing too much. You should only do one thing. My answer to that is, well, I'm glad Oprah didn't decide to just be a reporter. So, in my almost 30 years of being in the entertainment industry in various capacities, I've learned a lot and I've done a lot. As a counselor and attorney at law, my very nature and training is to teach, persuade, advise, share information, assess the pros and cons of a situation, and give my legal opinion. I would call myself a good lawyer. But with all the credentials, knowledge, and expertise I have, there was a time that I felt uncomfortable sharing unsolicited advice with others. And I'll tell you why. I was raised in New Orleans, and I moved to Houston for law school right after graduating from Xavier. With that being said, I showed up in Houston, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, friendly and helpful. I learned a few things and places about places to live in Houston based on distance from school and affordability and amenities, things like that. Well, a male classmate asked me about the apartments that I lived in and wanted to know more about the apartments in the area. So I began to share what I knew. While doing this, I later learned that another female classmate overheard our whole conversation, and the female classmate and I later grew to become the best of friends. Sometime after law school, she confessed that she was glad that we turned out to be such good friends, but initially she didn't like me. Me. Because she thought I was a know-it-all. And she recalled the incident of me talking to the male student back in law school, right? Well, by this time, she enlightened me to this, I'm well into my 30s. But I thought the thought of being a know-it-all by my friend bothered me a bit. Actually bothered me a lot. My thoughts were, if that's what a friend thought, then what do total strangers think of me, right? It's amazing how the smallest things can be unsettling in your spirit. They can hold you back and suppress your growth. So fast forward with me. About 6 years ago, an actress friend of mine called, and out of the blue, she just called me to thank me and talk to me about the fact that I am always sharing things with her and my other industry peers about the entertainment industry. And she said, people don't know everything. So I told her, well, I appreciate it, but I don't always like to talk too much because I don't want to come across as a know-it-all. And I told her about the story of what happened in law school. So in paraphrasing, she says, well, not all of us went to law school. The information you give us is very helpful. You know a lot because of all your experience in business and a mixture of talent not everyone has. She further told me, she said, you have a gift to share. Continue to do that. You have a gift to share. Continue to do that. In that one moment, she released me from my self-imposed restraints, okay? It gave me comfort in knowing my peers respected and appreciated what I had to share. If I could have a profound impact on my friends, then what could I impress upon the masses? In other words, you have to release what's holding you back, okay? You can't be phenomenal if you hold back your gifts. You can't be phenomenal if you worry about what people thought about you in the past. And you can't be phenomenal if you let pettiness, envy, or discomfort comprise who you are and who you are meant to be. You can't be phenomenal if you don't let your gifts take you into the future. Now, I don't know about y'all, but my future's bright. Okay? I gotta put my sunglasses on, my future's so bright. But while I'm reading them, put these readers back on. Okay, so this is not a church service, I know, but it's a faith-based campus. And when two or more in the midst, or when two or more are gathered, God is in the midst, correct? So I want to read a scripture that's on point. John 3:16 in part reads, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son." He gave. He gave what? His only begotten son. His gift to the world. It is our Christian duty to give, to share our talents, our time, and ourselves with our community. Once I understood that, this put me on the path to doing great things that I didn't even imagine. I chose to share my gifts through my nonprofit, Mack Performing Arts Collective, which is a performing and visual arts organization, IMPACT for short. Its vision is cultivating the interest of performing arts by exposing, educating, and entertaining. Realizing I had a gift to share and being an entertainment lawyer, I had a circle of high-profile clients, industry colleagues, and contacts ranging from all facets of entertainment. Performing and visual arts, I had resources most oftentimes out of the reach of others, but right there at my fingertips. This was my opportunity to give back to my community, expand the growth of the entertainment industry, starting right there in Houston, and make dreams of young performers and aspiring professionals come true. You have to tap into your gifts to become not the person that you think you are, but the person that God knows you to be. I have 10 tips for you, okay? These are the tips to becoming phenomenal lawyers and just phenomenal persons in general. Number one, have a belief in God, okay? Have faith and know that prayer works. Know that when you get down to nothing, God is always up to something. Number two, claim it. Whatever it is, whatever your gift, your mission in life, your passion, your legacy to leave behind. Claim it. Live in the moment and be consistent and persistent in your efforts to accomplish your goals. Number three, know your power. There's power in being yourself. There's power in who you are. Continue to invest in yourself. That power may be defined by your education in law, training, experience, skills, expertise, talent, abilities, access. Know your power and learn how to use it. Number four, work on your dash. That dash is that line between when you were born and when you die. If you have not heard, the two most important days in your life is the day you were born and the day you know why. Create your legacy. Do something that benefits others. Do something that you can pass on to others. Do something positive and meaningful that benefits the community and improves the quality of life, and you keep doing that. Avoid the naysayers. Not everyone will share your dreams or your vision. Not everyone will understand why you wear many hats. Not everyone will understand why you do what you do. But stay the course. To be in the forefront, a leader, a trendsetter is not easy, and if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Take chances. To be phenomenal, you have to be willing to take a chance to think outside of the box, to take a leap of faith. Try something new and unconventional. Envision yourself doing phenomenal things, and phenomenal things will happen. Great things never came from staying in your comfort zone, and I think y'all figured that out. As a couple of our speakers said earlier, network. Network, network, network. But with purpose, okay? Go with the plan. Don't just go to be seen. Make sure you meet who's running the scene. Whether you are at a business gathering or a social, there is always the potential to meet a great contact. Relationships are everything. Nurture them. You never know when you will need that person and vice versa. Expand your professional circle of influence, but never step on the little guy. Get to know the assistants to the person at the top, because that assistant one day will be the person at the top. Before you know it, you will have a direct contact to whoever and whatever you need. Number 8, control the controllable. Do your part. You make good on your promises. You can't control everything about a situation, but you can control how you act in it and you react to it. You can control your attitude and your energy. Number 9, toss luck, okay? I learned that there's no such thing as luck. It's really about preparedness meeting opportunities. So always be prepared. When you're networking, you never know who you may meet. Have that business card ready. Know some talking points about your business or your project in case you meet a potential investor or someone who could possibly be a great resource. And number 10, take care of you, okay? Take care of your vessel from which your gift flows. Eat right and exercise because you need stamina and longevity to be phenomenal. Take pride in your overall appearance. Be the kind of woman or man that makes the next woman or man step their game up, okay? It's that simple. In closing, raise the bar. We want you to have a career so phenomenal that you are celebrated, archived, and memorialized at the National Museum of African American History and Culture. And you know that's a feat, but many have gotten it done. Be the first, ... not the worst, ... Okay, I'll let you fill the blanks in. Be a Thurgood Marshall, first African American man to sit on the U.S. Supreme Court. Or Loretta Lynch, the first African American woman to serve as the U.S. Attorney General under the first African American president, Barack Obama. All phenomenal lawyers. And Loretta Lynch is my soror, by the way. Strive to have your own Wikipedia page. That's a feat, but it gets done. Phenomenal people make the Wikipedia page. But don't just do phenomenal things for the income, do it for the outcome. Be phenomenal. Much like here at Bennett College, it believes that education should be related to humanitarian ends. Use your gifts to improve the quality of lives around you, uplift your community, and leave a legacy behind so rich that not only do you make your friends and family proud, but you make all of us, your people, proud. And if someone asks you, why attend a HBCU, a black law school? My answer is simple. Why not? Thank you.